Hello, my lovely Geminis. Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. I had a few people ask me what cross watchers were. Cross watchers basically, if your person is a Gemini and you're watching this because of them. In a nutshell, it's the cross watcher is a person that has the Gemini or wants the Gemini. Anyway, I'm gonna pull an oracle card first from the Bone and Earth Oracle. What do we have for Geminis? Give us a card for Gemini's universe. And I'm shuffling backwards, so let's fix this. What do we have for Geminis? The Pact. Inner work, deep connections, soul tribe. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Geminis? What is going on for Geminis? Oh shit, Geminis, let's get into it. So the first thing I see is whether this is a connection that's already been started or a connection that's coming in. I feel like this connection for this person, I feel like it was physical. I mean, I feel like this person, they saw you, they were attracted to you, which is clear. But I feel like what they wanted from you was the physical. Now, I feel like that was the original plan. I feel like plans are falling apart very quickly for this person. I mean, I feel like it started off like this person just wanted your goodies, but I don't know what the fuck you did to this person. And I apologize for the language. I just no other word for it. I mean, I feel like this person is fantasizing about you. I mean, I feel like this person is thinking about you all the time. They can't stop thinking about you. You know, they came in thinking it was for a good for a good time, not a long time. They're changing their tune really quickly here, Gemini. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like they came in, and I feel like they were just trying to get. I don't mean to be blunt. I feel like they were just thinking about getting in your pants. You know, and I'm going to be honest, you know, that's what I feel like. I feel like that's their plan. That was their plan. But you did something to this person and you changed up the plan. They didn't see what was really in front of them. and now they're seeing it very clearly. You know what I mean? I feel like this person obviously was very attracted to you physically. And I feel like that's the most amount of thought they put into that. But I feel like being around you, this person, their whole perspective on you has changed. Yeah, like I said, I mean, this person's fantasizing about you. You know, you are in their dreams, you are in their thoughts. They know exactly what they want, and it's got them out of balance. I mean, I feel like this person is obsessing over you, and I mean that in the least crazy amount of way, in the least stalkerish type of energy. I just feel like this person came in thinking, "Damn, you look good. I want a piece of that," and now they want the whole thing. You know, but you got them out of balance because like they're off their game now. The game has changed. Like, they're not looking at winning the game anymore. They're looking at winning the championship. They're in for the season. I mean, this person, like I said, I mean, they're falling. They're falling hard and fast. I mean, they are drawn to you. And like I said, what they want from you has completely changed. They don't just want parts of you, they want all of you. You know, we have that Empress. I mean, they're just drawn into you. They're, you know, you have this allure that's pulling them in. And I feel like not only are you pulling them in, but I feel like you're awakening a side of this person they didn't even know existed. And it's funny how we started off with the Oracle card with the Pact. Because I feel like this is like a lone wolf that finally found somewhere he wanted to be a part of, or they. I don't know why I automatically associated wolf with he. But there is some masculine energy, obviously, with the Emperor. But I feel like this person was a lone wolf, and they were okay with that. You know, and sometimes we are lone wolves, and we're okay with it until we find that other person that we want part of our pact. You know, and then everything changes. I mean, the significance here is the Emperor and the Empress, the masculine, the feminine, you know, the nurturer and the protector. I mean, they can't get you out of their head, Gemini. They just can't. I don't know if they even want to. I mean, there is a lot of energy here that is very intense. Like I said, they came in thinking they only wanted a piece, but now they want the whole thing. And I mean, they're thinking about you nonstop. I mean, they want to grab you and hold on. And I mean, I feel like this person, you just bring out a different side of this person, and they like who you bring out. You know, it happens a lot when we meet people in our life, and generally, when we establish a real connection with someone, we start to see things in ourselves that change, but change for the better. Just like the opposite. Sometimes we get with people that bring out the worst in us, and we see things in ourselves that we didn't want to see. I mean, I feel like this person's been waiting for you. You know, I feel like meeting you is like a reality check. You know, they were waiting for you. They didn't even know they were waiting for you. They weren't ready for what they walked into, but they're getting ready real quick. I mean, like with this person, it's not just about passion anymore. You know, there's a lot of intense energy, yes, but I mean, I feel like they just want to know you better. They just want to know anything you want to tell them. I mean, I see this person open communication, and I feel like being very honest for the first time. And I feel like eventually they're going to be honest enough to tell you what they were planning in the beginning. You know, I see that you bring honesty out of this person because they know what they want. Like I said, I mean, I feel like they just feel so connected to you, and it's in a very deep way. I mean, we have new love, and we have the Two of Cups as well, so I feel like this is definitely a new love connection. I mean, obviously, I get the sense that you felt something with this person. Your intuition was telling you when you met this person, and I feel like that's what led you to them. The physical led them to you, but I feel like you felt something special about this person, and I feel like you're going to be rewarded big time for this, because I feel like this person is definitely leveling up right in front of your eyes. Like, sometimes when we don't know what we want, we're not afraid of losing things. You know, sometimes, like I said, we're that lone wolf, and we're okay with that. We've accepted that part of ourselves, you know, where we're just kind of wandering and not really getting into anything. And all of a sudden we meet that one person that changes our whole perspective, and they bring out things in us that we enjoy. So it's not just how you make them feel. It's not how they feel when they're around you. It's how you make them feel about themselves. Like, how they feel about you has completely changed, obviously. But how they feel about themselves and how they see themselves, they like that. They're digging it. And that's what part of this connection is not just how they feel toward you. It's how they feel toward themselves when they're around you. Like I said, in life, we meet that person that makes us want to be a better person. And some people even make us see the better person that we could be. Like I said, I just kind of a lone wolf energy, just kind of floating around. And I feel like this person very strong attraction to you physically, but I feel like what they didn't know what they were getting into, because once they got in, you know, once they got close, things started to become a lot more clear, and what their desires, you know, what they desired becomes a lot more complicated. I mean, like I said, I feel like they're out of balance, and I feel like they're really not sure what to do next, but they know what they want to do next. I mean, they want to they want to fill your cups up. That's another thing too. When you see this, is coming in, it was almost like a very player type energy, like, you know, hit it and quit it type energy. And to get what they can out of you, you know, for you to make them happy, now they want to make you happy. So everything is shifting here. Like I said, very obsessing energy. Like, and I mean that in a very, it sounds obsessive, and obsessing sounds very stalkery, or I don't want to make it sound like that, because it's really not that. I feel like it's genuine. You know, they can't stop thinking about you. You're always on their mind. I mean, they're hooked, line, and sinker. And like I said, they're falling fast and hard. But I'll tell you, Geminis don't give you an in unless they want to. And that's why I feel like you saw something, or you felt something with this person that you knew. I feel like you kind of knew how this was going to play out. You don't really catch Gemini slipping. And I feel like you kind of knew what this person, what their intentions were, or what they thought they were going to get. But I feel like you felt something with this person that was different. You know, like I said, I feel like there's a very, very passionate energy with this person, very driven. You know, I feel like I said, you're getting honesty out of this person moving forward. I feel like even so much to say is to tell you what they had intended, and I feel like then you can fill them in as how you knew that's what they thought they were going to get from you. But that wasn't on the table. It never was. With this person, a lot of fire: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Libra and Aquarius. I do feel, I mean, we have Cancer. It's Scorpio. They I told this story before. I think I've done so many videos that I've told at least I don't have a whole lot of stories. I feel like I do have a lot of stories, but I feel like I've done so many videos and I've told so many stories. I feel like I'm running out of stories because I only live so long, you know? I only have so many stories I could possibly tell. But there was a friend of mine, and he always used to chase this one girl around. And it was because she always kept turning him down. And he was kind of the player type energy, like, but all the girls knew. You know, it wasn't like he was just gonna just screw you over. Like every girl knew what he was up to. And the girls that fell for it, I think probably wanted it. You know what I mean? Obviously. You know, there is girls and guys out there that don't want any commitment. They just, you know, they want to the pleasures of the flesh, whatever you want to call it. You know, but they all knew. And I know some girls probably got with him thinking they could change him. But anyway, this one girl always shut him down. Always shut him down. And he wanted her and wanted her. And I think he wanted her more because she was shutting him down. And, you know, when you want what you can't have type energy. And I feel like he really, you know, pursued it. And somewhere along the line, like, he was getting to know her, you know, asking other people things about her, just finding out about her. And I'm like, dude, you're really, like, what's going on here? I mean, like, you're pursuing this girl to a point where it's kind of almost creepy right now. And he's like, he goes, I don't know, man. He goes, I can't stop thinking about her. And, you know, she just drives me crazy. And he said, and the weird thing is the more I get to know her, the more I really dig her. And I'm like, you're just doing that, man. Like, if she ever gives into you, you're just gonna put another notch on your bed, and you're just gonna do that, and you know, just laughing at him basically, because it was like when you watch a dog run around a parking lot trying to chase cars, and you're not really sure what they're gonna do with the car when they catch it, but they still catch them, they still chase them. Anyway, she finally gave in and said, listen, you know, I'll go on a date with you. Nothing's going to happen, you know, but I'll go on a date with you if you just stop bugging me. He's like, fine, you know. And then he was thinking, okay, I'm suave. I can get in there and I can, you know, I'll get what I want from her. He went on a date with her. Then he went on probably another 10, 15 dates with her. And this is going on for months. Anyway, he said, he goes, I don't know what to do, man. He goes, I'm locked in with this. You know what I mean? I'm like, he goes, and I love hanging out with her. You know, I never felt this way about a girl. And he goes, you know, but she's not giving it up. You know what I mean? She's not putting out. And I'm like, but you still keep going back for these dates. And he's like, yeah. He goes, I'm so close. And anyway, he dated her. They dated for a while. I think she made him wait like at least a year. Then she finally, you know, she was getting into him. I feel like she was always kind of into him, but she just didn't want what he wanted. She didn't want to give him what he wanted because that isn't what she wanted from him. And it was the most complicated relationship. I remember just watching it unfold, and I was thinking, you know, we all kind of were like, okay. I didn't think she'd ever give in to him. I really didn't. I thought she would shut him down. I thought it was just like she was playing him at this point. But it was just, I think probably about a year she made him wait. They ended up getting together. And they're still together. he said, I don't know what it is, but after I got with her, he goes, I just wanted more. I can't think about any other girls, no other girl, and I think when I like that, I was young when I was saying all this stuff, so don't judge me for that. But now that I look back at it, I always think, I think she challenged him in a way that nobody else challenged him. And I think that certain people bring something out of us that other people can never bring out of us. That's why I feel like we have soulmates, because I feel like there's that person that brings something out of you that challenges you. And I know that sounds like a weird challenge, but I mean, at that point, I feel like he never had anybody that stood up to him. He never had anybody that put their foot down. He either got what he wanted or got out and never thought about it again. And, now to say he was a player, I want to go back to that because I want to be clear with this. He was that guy that was always hitting on girls. We used to always laugh. We put that song, I don't know if you remember, I can't remember the guy's name is, The Return of the Mac. We used to call him Mac all the time. And when that song came on, he'd have this little strut. He had a player mentality. Not a lot of girls gave into him. Like I said, most of the girls knew what he was about. But like I said, when you meet someone, like I thought I was a complete person. I thought I was a man when I met Rose. Like I thought I was the best version of myself. When I met her, that shit changed real quick. I realized that I was on the right track, but I still had a lot of work to do. Like I said, Rose challenges me in ways that, she'll call me out when I'm full of shit. Or when I'm doing something stupid, she'll call me out. And I never had that before. And it was something I never knew I needed. And that's what I mean. Sometimes we meet people that have something or bring something out of us that we never knew we needed or were missing in the first place. But yeah, they're still together. She changed him. He thought he was going to change her mind, and she ended up changing his mind. But they're a great couple. Really, really good people. And I'm glad he found her, because I feel like he needed her in his life. And sometimes you just got to love when a plan comes together. All that time she was making him wait, that was getting him invested. That was him learning about her as a person and not being able to see her as a, and that happens a lot. And that's why, I'm not going to get into that. That seems like a whole long ass topic, but, basically that's why, those player type people don't want to get to know the other person. They just want what they want and they get out because they don't want to make it personal. Because once it gets personal, once you start having real feelings for the person, unless you're a psychopath, you getting to know someone and knowing them and knowing their name and finding respect for that person and having moral decency, you get to know them and then you just can't treat them that way anymore. I was gonna say it's like strippers. I remember this girl told me one time, she's like, that's why strippers have this, the names like Candy and Mercedes and stuff, is because they want you to be in for the idea of them. They don't want to tell you their real name. They don't want, they don't want to make it personal. They want you to be sexually aroused by them. They want you to give them tips because of that. And if you get to know them, then it's harder to see them that way. You see them differently, especially when it gets personal. And it's like that in all facets of life, not just, like I said, strippers. Anything. There's people out there that I didn't really like because I didn't really know them. And then like this one guy I ended up working with, I went to school with him and I never really knew him. He was kind of like a pass-by person. And there was just something about him that I never really clicked with, But then I ended up after school, I went to go work at this job and he was working there. And I got to know him. And I figured out why I didn't like him. I know you thought that story was going to take a different twist. Like me and him became best buddies. Brothers from different mothers, but no. I figured out why I didn't like him. But like I said, it's because now I had time to get to know him. Doesn't always work out to get to know the person and you know, your best buddies. But anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.